AI isn't the future. It's the awesome shortcut you are ignoring, and it's costing you a lot of money. Let me show you how to use AI to multiply your efficiency, increase your output manifold, and make more money online. First, I'm going to give you general tips on how to get the very best from AI tools. And then I'm going to give you about 3 specific use cases and how to go about them for your online business. To get the best out of AI tools, do the following. Number 1, think of AI as a smart assistant and not a magic pill. The computer phrase garbage in, garbage out applies a lot to AI. And many people think that AI currently is sentient. That is not true. It's that the way AI works, it can predict. It has gone through a lot of training material that it can predict if I am going 93% of the time or more, the next word is going to be told. So it actually does prediction of text. It's not as if it is thinking. So if you do not know how to use it for what it does well, and you give it prompts that end up being garbage, you will get a garbage result. That is why you see 2 people will use the same tool and get results that are as different as night from day. So think of it as a smart assistant who you still have to instruct and tell what you want done in the way you want it done. But because it is smart, if you tell it what you want in the way you want it done, it will deliver correctly for you. The number 2 thing you need to bear in mind is that AI does not replace skill. It simply multiplies it. It amplifies it. Let me use something I'm very conversant with, writing. Before the emergence of AI, I could comfortably write in certain niches 2,500-word articles a day. I had developed to that point, and they will be solid, thorough articles. Now, I have developed a lot of skill in writing. Now, with AI and having learned how to use a tool like ChatGPT correctly, the quality of content I can turn out is as high as, if not better, than what I could do before. But look at what happens. AI makes me do that in a fraction of the time. So the time it would have taken me to write one solid 2,000-word article, I can use that same time to turn out 10 solid 2,000-word articles that anybody who listens will say, wow, this is awesome. So AI multiplies your skill. It does not replace it. But give that same AI to somebody who has not got to my level of writing. He would deliver something at his level. So take note, AI multiplies skill. It does not replace it. So you still need to acquire the core skill. For example, if you want to write copy, sales copy, if you already understand what it takes to get good sales copy, you know what to ask AI because you have the skill. You know the questions. When you get to the I want this, because you understand the psychology of human response to sales copy. Or someone who doesn't know that, we just say, write me sales copy on for this product, and AI will give you generic stuff. So the more skillful you are in a subject matter or in an area of expertise, the better results you can get from AI once you know how to prompt it correctly. Number 3, use AI to accelerate, not blindly automate. Some people make that big mistake. Because you hear AI can do this, it can do that, it can do a lot of things, then you use it blindly to automate processes that you have not done manually, mastered, and created standard operating procedures for. You've not created clear systems for. Don't make that mistake. First, understand the processes. Create a system, create standard operating procedures. When you have done that, you can now feed those into AI, and AI can help you accelerate what you want to do, and you can now automate a lot of things wisely. There's a way you can go and use things you have gathered from yourself, your expertise, to train AI to virtually replace you in many mundane tasks. But you have to have done them manually, created systems, created SOPs, gone into the details of things so that when you feed it to AI can now help you automate a number of processes correctly and deliver the same value as you would have, or even better. But if you use it blindly, you'll just get trash as the end result. So AI can help you accelerate manifold what you're already doing manually and doing correctly. So understand that. If you are doing things wrongly manually, AI will only accelerate the wrongness you are doing, the wrong things you are doing. Number 4, and this is about the most important of the things I've talked about in how to use AI, how to get the best results from AI, is make sure you understand the AI tools you are using. Master them. Mastery is critical. You can pick 2 or 3 tools and begin to take your time to study them, master them, know the nuances, what makes them different, how they respond. For example, that if you're using a GPT tool like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, they all respond differently. For example, now when I use ChatGPT versus Claude, they behave differently. There are some slight nuances. For example, those of you who have used both Claude and ChatGPT, you understand that Claude can handle, if you are doing a large document, you wanted to summarize a large body of text, Claude is usually better. There are things that Claude does better than ChatGPT. But it's mastery of each of the tools that will not tell me, okay, this is what I want to do. No, let me do it on Claude. This other one, let me do it on ChatGPT. This other one, let me do it with Grok. You understand. Like my son who programs, say, there's a way the Grok breaks it down for him. He prefers. He does it like this. It's mastery that brings you to that point where you know the nuances of each of the tools you use. So take your time to master each tool, AI tool you use. Why? Mastery of AI tools is like sharpening your tool. If you're using a manual tool, let's say you're using an axe, you want to cut down trees, it's like sharpening your tool. If you bring 2 equally strong men, they have the same amount of strength, and you give one a dull axe, give the other a super sharp axe, razor sharp, and give them work to do. The man with the super sharp axe will produce many times the results in the same time. In fact, there was a story I had of rugby players. Part of their training to develop their muscles and things like that, part of their training is that their coach takes them to a particular forest in one of these European countries. They start felling trees. The companies that fell trees. So these boys come to do it as part of their work. And now the competition was that the winner at the end of the day, whoever fell the most trees, would get $100. And there was this old man who is not part of the team, who is just an old guy. He's used to that work. He does it. He joined the competition. And when when the rugby boys, well built, were looking at the old man, what is this frail man coming to compete with us? Because they know they are strong, they're physically capable. They were shocked at the end of the first day when the logs were counted. Who won? The old man. Wow, old man. And to top it up, the old man was also a smoker. So usually when the man had worked for some amount of time, he goes out to take a smoke. The next day, the guys doubled up their energy, worked harder. At the end of the day, they counted, the old man still won. After some time, they now had to ask, so what is happening? How is this man defeating all of us? Then they now discovered that whenever this old man went to take a smoke, actually he was smoking, but that was not all he was doing. At those times he went off to take a smoke, that the man was usually taking some serious time to sharpen his axe, because they were doing it manually with axe. He was sharpening his axe. So every time he goes to a smoke, he sharpens his axe. So his axe was many times sharper than the rest of the team. So whenever it comes, a stroke gives him more result than multiple strokes from the other boys. So this is a story for you to stick in your mind, that mastery of any tool you use is like sharpening the edge of that tool to make it more efficient and more effective for you. So if you want to use an AI tool, ChatGPT, take out time. I see a lot of people who use ChatGPT, they have never even bought that to learn the basics of prompt engineering. What are the things, hierarchy of things you need to do to get the best, write out the best prompt? They don't even know. They don't care. They don't bother. And they wonder why they are turning out poor results. They don't even know that there's a level of an amount of stuff you paste in, and you begin to get the AI tool begins to lose focus and begins to throw in a lot of rubbish. So how do you mitigate it? How do you find out the correct flow? Those little things is part of what we call mastery. And if you take your time to learn them and master each of the two, you will get far better results. So now that I've given you general tips on how to get the best from AI, let's get into 3 specific use cases. The first specific use case I would like to talk about is using AI for niche selection and keyword research. If you're building a YouTube channel, if you're creating a website, if you're doing most things online, the best place to start is niche selection and keyword research. Niche selection helps you enter into a place where you can easily win. Keywords help you choose the right keywords to target or areas to target to get the best result for your efforts. So how do you use it? I'll use ChatGPT as an example. And I'll use the example of what we do with our mentees in our mentorship program. To use ChatGPT, we start them with, we want to help them pick, we know our end goal. We want to pick a niche for our mentees that aligns with who they are, something they will enjoy doing, but something that will also make them a lot of money. The niche we want to pick is usually a high ticket niche. And we also want to make sure that it aligns with their goals in life and a lot of things about their personality. So what do? We give them 21 questions in a questionnaire and they answer. These questions cover 5 layers. We call it a 5-layer framework. Layer 1 is they have questions that help us find out what their core values are. Layer 2 is we have questions that help us find out what their natural aptitudes are. Layer 3, we have questions that help us find out what their life aspirations and visions are. Layer 4, we give them questions that help us find out what their market validated skills are. By that we mean skills that they have used to earn money at one point or the other in their lives. It might not be much money, but they have earned money with it at one point or the other in their lives. Then finally, layer 5, we ask them questions that help us know what their lifestyle preferences are and what their risk tolerance is like. Using this, we create a prompt that one helps us summarize the whole of this into telling us who is this personality. We created a prompt. You are an experienced internet marketer who also happens to be a psychologist. Using the answers from this questionnaire, give us a summary, an intent summary for this profile, who he is and what it is. To do it in not more than so and so number of words. And ChatGPT gives us the answer. When we have fed that in, we use that summary, keep it somewhere. Then we now have another prompt that tells ChatGPT to use so and so summary to help us find 5 high ticket, obscure B2B niches that aligns with the person whose intent summary or profile summary has been included below. When we do that, we paste it in and run. ChatGPT turns out the niches. There are things we prompt it to do within the niches. How we tell it to describe the niches. To tell us, okay, give us the top 5 players on YouTube. You can tell it to also give you the top 5 players across the web in this niche. Also give us some products that are already selling, affiliate programs, and things like that. Those are things we build into the prompt, and then it turns it out. We repeat that for products that are not B2B, high ticket. We give you parameters like every niche you will write out must have verified products that pay commissions of at least $1,000 per sale. Or you can say a minimum of $200 per lead. We give you those kind of parameters and it turns out results. So that's one way to use ChatGPT or tools like it for niche selection. You can develop your own strategy using any other way of knowing a person's personality and giving a prompt to from his database, from his training, to give you niches that are easy to win and will align with this person's core personality. Now, when you have done this, we go to another step where we now start, okay, we want to now, from this niche we have got, we want to build topical authority. We now create a prompt that tells ChatGPT, I am in XYZ niche and I have been a veteran, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, you tell it you are in XYZ niche and you are a veteran. You've done this for the past 15 years, giving clients XYZ results. Now, I want to create a YouTube channel that will be the topical authority on this. Give me an exhaustive list of all the topics I need to cover to be the topical authority. I'm just giving you this as an example. ChatGPT will reach you a level of results. From the results you get, you now go to the next phase. So, okay, pick one of them. Look at this particular topic. Can you give me 30 semantically different keywords that will cover this topic completely? ChatGPT brings it out. Now, using tools like keywords everywhere, you can now begin to impute each of these search phrases that it has given you because it told you to give you keywords. What are you doing? You're inputting them to verify the search volumes, competition, and all those kind of things. So that's one use case for niche selection and keyword research. What I've just given you is just a quick run through of this. When our mentees work with us, this one alone takes us over 1 month. Can take us up to 2 months. Depending on the person, it can take us up to 3 months because we'll go niche selection and the various keyword researches that the person will be doing things that he knows will be winning him, giving him winning results. The next use case is using AI for content creation, whether it is text or video or any other form of content. You can use AI to create awesome content. There's AI now that will generate music for you, serious music. You can even clone your voice and it will create music for you using your voice. You can create musical video. Google just released, I think Google View, that does Hollywood level short clips. So there's a lot you can do with AI when it comes to content creation. But remember when I was talking about the general tips, I said garbage in, garbage out. You must pick each of the tool and master it. Let me use ChatGPT again as an example because it's a tool that is easily accessible for most people. Let me say I want to use it for content creation. What most people do is they say, write me a 2,000 word article on how to lose weight in 30 days. And then ChatGPT will just go, write something generic for you. And then people say, Google banned my site. Google did this to my site. I have sites that are growing. In fact, I didn't know. I just did. And some of them were just, I saw some sites were just growing. As much as I can recollect, most of the content on some of those sites are what? AI generated. You may see the word AI generated is confused by most people. They're stupid AI generations or blind AI generation. I want you to treat AI like Microsoft Word. There used to be a time when if you are a secretary you typed manually on a manual typewriter, chaka, 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 and you have to study this, study that. Now, when Microsoft Word came out, when you are typing, if you make a mistake, it will highlight it. Now, if you are like in Nigeria and you are typing for your Nigerian director and you write program, spell program as Programme, and your computer is actually set to US English, it will underline it as wrong. But since you know you are writing for a Nigerian audience, you know that the program MME is the one you will use in Nigeria. You just leave it. That's you using your human brain with a tool called Microsoft Word. And then you're writing for a Nigerian audience or something official document in Nigeria. Your computer is set to US. And then you type center as in CENTRE, the way we spell it in Nigeria. And your US laptop marks it and wants you to correct it to center as in CENTER, like they use in the US. You use your brain to know, no, this is correct. But the point is that the Microsoft Word tool, a simple tool, is helping you make your writing better. When you come to use a tool like ChatGPT, approach it that same way. That it's coming to make my writing better. Not that it's going to do my writing for me without my brain. I just lock down my brain and then ChatGPT will generate it. So let me give you a practical example. I want to write on how to lose weight in 30 days as a nursing mother. How to lose weight in 30 days as a nursing mother. I don't know whether this is correct or not, whether it's something the woman should do, but I'm just saying that's just a topic. I just pick that topic. First, what do? I go on Google, I type in. When I paste it in, I look at the top 3, 4, 5 articles. Now, using some tools too, there are tools that you can use that you can add them as Chrome extension, and then you pull out. They help you pull out all the headings from these top 3. You pull out the headings and then kind of place it down and look at what do they have here, what is missing. By the way, I will even check whether it is medically advised for a woman who is nursing to attempt to lose weight. If so, what are the risks and what are the side effects and what are the advice, recommendations for such a woman? I will take notes on all these things. You see, I'm preparing my stuff. When I prepare, I get all the headlines from all these things. Look at what I can do. I said, let's say I've got the different headlines from 5 of the top ranking 5 articles on Google. I'll take those headlines to ChatGPT. I said, just copy them raw without the text. I said, look at the following headline suggestions. Go through them and remove those that are duplicates and combine those that can be combined, and then give me a clean outline, combining all these, removing redundant ones, and placing them in a sensible and natural order. Just something like that. I'm just saying this on the top of my mind because, of course, if I want to write it on ChatGPT, I'll take my time to create it better. Then I paste it on ChatGPT and put those things I've gathered from my research under. ChatGPT gives me all the headlines arranged in an orderly manner, in a natural sequence, from the beginning to the end. Let's say my call to action. Now, it gives me that. Now, I will not start just running through the next process. I pick it, I go through that headline. No, this one doesn't make sense because I've read about it. I've done some research on my own. I cancel this out. This is redundant. This is well. I don't want this. I can rephrase this to this. After I've done that, I have now got what I'm happy as an outline. Do you see? I'm working with ChatGPT. What I'm happy with an outline. I could do this online, and then once I finish, I now said ChatGPT, look at the final stuff. Using this, can you create a detailed outline for me using these headers? ChatGPT does the outline. I pick it up. I look at it. Then I'm happy with the outline, and I want to create a detailed article. And I can start picking each of the segments of the outline and say, based on XYZ, first, I have to define my tone. I want it to sound like so and so. I could even upload some of my past articles. Let's say 5, 6, 7 articles I have used to a platform like Claude. because it takes more. I just attach them and now tell it, analyze these articles and create a prompt that captures the tone so that any AI tool, any AI GPT tool can create articles that sound just like the author of this article. These are my articles. It will create a prompt for me based on those, let's say, my 5 past articles. Create a prompt, and I'm using that as a framework. And now paste it and now include further instructions for this particular outline, and I paste it under. ChatGPT runs, and somebody wonders when my article comes out, say, this sounds like you. Yes, of course, it sounds like me because I've gone through the pains to make ChatGPT sound like me. But that's not all. I'm not yet done. I pick the document it has written. I could go to another tool and say, let's say I go to Google Gemini and say, run through this article, fact check them, outdated facts, note them, correct them, and give me suggestions for the recommendations, and you paste it underneath. I can define first who it is. Let's say I'm on weight loss. I can say, you are a cutting edge leader in weight loss for nursing mothers. You are in the league of XYZ. I can even use a popular person, and you are in this school of thought for weight loss because there are different schools of thought, and then you do that. So I give that, I say, now verify this, fact check the following document to make sure that it aligns with standard researches and academic findings. Provide citations and references, and then I feed it in. Gemini gives me the result. From the result it gives me, I go and check those places physically, make sure that those things are true. Once they are true, I now know the ones that have question marks on them, I review them. When I'm done, my document that will come out, my article that will come out, a medical doctor will read it and say, wow, who wrote this thing? This is quite solid. It's sound. Because I took the pains to do what I would have done when I'm writing manually. Because if I'm writing manually and I'm writing something like medical facts, I have to verify. In fact, I will have to read papers. The only thing that ChatGPT does for me is that instead of having to read those papers myself, I could get the papers and feed it to ChatGPT, say, summarize, go through this paper and see whether it confirms that A, B, C, D within this section is true. If it is so, can you highlight a particular aspect of the paper that does that? So ChatGPT, I can use it now to speed up my content creation by giving high value. But you see, all this that I've explained, if you know some people who create content with ChatGPT and get nonsense, they don't do that. They just say, I create content with ChatGPT with just 2 clicks. Good luck creating such quality content with just 2 clicks. So you can use ChatGPT to create awesome content if you do this. This is just like, again, a rough overview. For better results, I can even pick a framework, teach ChatGPT that framework, and use that framework to create my articles. This same process is what you should apply when you are creating videos. It might not be exactly the way I formatted, but make sure you are thorough. Pretend you are going through the natural process of creating those things without the tools, and then let the tool accelerate your results, your process. Let the tools give you speed. Let it not be that you are cutting corners with the tools. The tools should give you speed. So if I was doing these things manually and they would take me 3 days, using these tools, I can now do everything in 1 hour. The final use case I will talk about briefly is using AI for automation. There are a lot of these, for those of us who have been doing this in online for a long time, a lot of this we used to do manually. And now with AI, you can just set this up across platforms, across tools. Let me just give you an example. Zapier. You create a Zap that connects this to this. Now, if you have signed up for my stuff, you notice that when you take a step, you get an email from a point telling you the next thing to do. This triggers that. that triggers this. And it can happen across platforms. You can get a trigger when you go to Google Calendar and book an appointment with me. It will trigger an email from XYZ to send to you. When you do this, fill a form on Google Forms. It will trigger this there. Now, a tool like Zapier helps you automate across platforms. You can automate from somebody who checks out. Once he checks out, let this happen. When he does Y, let A happen. When he does X, let B happen. If he doesn't do this, let that happen. You create automation rules. But now, when using these tools, don't try to make them complex for the sake of complexity. The first rule is make them as simple as possible. If they by themselves, as you are adding layers of different simple automation processes on themselves, they end up becoming a complex thing to a newcomer. That's not a problem. Because you understand how you laid your things on each other, it won't be complex to you. It will be clear and simple. The point is, if you are doing automation first, if it's Zapier, take your time to understand how it works. If it is the automation within your tool, for example, I use GetResponse as my email provider. They have their own automation rules. If you want to automate things, there's a way to go about it. Take your time to understand it. If you are more comfortable with Zapier, also take your time to understand it so that you will not trigger off. And when you do set your automation, test. I set up my automation rule. I didn't know I put respondents email instead of just email. And that simple mistake was making my stuff to fire wrong. And I didn't check. But when I eventually, well, I'm not seeing this. I went and checked. I discovered that it was already showing me an error code, but because I didn't check, I didn't know and I couldn't fix it. And now, it was a small operation, so it was not a big problem. But if it was a massive operation, it would have caused some serious bottlenecks. That is why when you set up your automation rules, you make sure you test it, double check, triple check that it's all working well. But the first step is what? Mastering it. Master it and do at the level of your mastery. Not because you had somebody talk about some very complex things you don't understand. You also want to go and set up automation. Remember, automation is not the goal. The goal is to make money if you are building a business. Automation is only to make your process of making money more efficient. Don't ever lose sight of that. If I want to talk about just one of the use cases, if I want to teach my mentees, some of them will take my mentees weeks and months to master. But that's why a mentorship program works so great, because we take people at their paces. We make sure they understand. It is not like a course. A course is look at what the curriculum is. We teach you this, teach you this, teach you this. It's for you to go and understand. A mentorship ensures you understand. If you don't understand, those who have understood can go to the next stage where you stay back and understand it. Because it's not a race. You are about making money. In the mentorship program, we take you by the hand from where you are to where you should get to. So we're talking about AI tools, how to use it. Let's use the example of content creation. What I have just done here is just an overview explanation. When we want to teach you, we take each of these steps, walk you through them, make sure you understand them, tell you, okay, do this assignment. You do it, you look at it, you look at what others are doing. So, okay, you missed this point. So, okay, yes, you correct it until you master that step. Then we'll take you to the next step. Then you master it. So, eventually, you develop mastery at your pace and begin to what? Achieve the results you set out for. In our own mentorship program, for example, we take you by the hand and teach you. And if you follow our process, we guarantee that by the end of 24 months, you would have built a business online that makes you at least $10,000 a month. We do not say you do it overnight, though. We say it will take you 24 months of us holding your hand, helping you, guiding you. But note, we are not doing the work for you. We will never do the work for you. We will show you how to do it, guide you through the entire process. If you are interested in joining our mentorship program, Click the link in the pinned comment or description below. The title is $10K in 24. But what if you don't have the time or the inclination to go through 24 months of mentorship, but you still want to have a business? You want to build a business that gives you freedom, that earns you a lot of money. In fact, you want somebody else to build it for you while you reap the benefits. Or you want to be a part of a business that is built by another, but you are kind of a big shareholder in it, an online business. Click the second link. It is for our Done For You program. The title is DFY-Passive Income Digital Assets, PIDA. Click the link under it. Whether you want to join our mentorship or our Done For You program, click the respective link, either the one for the mentorship or the one for the Done For You program, and it will take you to a page where we'll ask you for your phone number, email address, and name. When you provide those details and click submit, we will send you an automated mail. You will get it within 5 minutes. You are supposed to go into that email that you provided and click that, open that email and click the link within it to confirm that email. Once you confirm, you will get another link in another email within 5 minutes, asking you, giving you a link to an application form and another link to our overview document. If you signed up for a mentorship program, you will get an overview document for the mentorship. If you sign up for the Done For You, you will get an overview document for the Done For You. Click the two links. Now, one of the other links will take you to an application form. You will fill it out. We want to know if you are the right fit for us and if we can serve you. So when you fill it out, our system will automatically determine whether you are a right fit or not. Check your email again within another 5 minutes. You will get an email from us telling you the next step to take. If you are qualified, you will get a link to a place where you will book a call. You choose the times available, your most convenient time. When you choose it, and once you choose that time, our system will automatically send you my personal phone number. It is not for you to call me. It is for you to save it so that when I call you at that time you picked, you will know it's not a random stranger, but a call you booked and requested. When we talk, you can ask me all the questions you want, and then we can give you a link to pay, or you can take it to the next level. Anyhow you want it, we'll be there for you. The ball is now squarely in your court. You can transform your life. Imagine what $10,000 per month would do for you. And imagine that you can be earning that amount within the next 24 months. Yes, it might look like a long time, but I bet you it's not long. 16 million naira a month. Think about the things you can do for your loved ones, for your parents, for your community, the transformation it will bring about in your life. The ball is squarely in your court. Thanks for watching this video. God bless you and have a great life.